This episode is sponsored by Inez Queen Water, Black-owned business, supporting women, and giving back to Earth. You can find more information in our bio below. Follow them on Instagram at Inez Queen Water, and then check out an episode in the future with them. Yeah!
Becky, we got the phone. Yeah, tell Becky to pick up the phone. Oh my God, Becky.
Can Miss Becky please raise her hand, bro?
You better call Becky with the good hair.
Yo, what's good? It's your girl, Becky the Poe. We're at episode 88. Can you believe it? We're almost done with season 9. You know what that means? Season 10. Upgrade. Let me upgrade. Nope. Beyonce don't ever hire me. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I really appreciate you guys for listening. Don't forget to comment, like if you're watching this. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Also, share this podcast with everybody all around the world. You, your mother, your parents, your sister, everybody. Share it. Love it. Tell me you love me, because I love you. But anyways, we're getting to today's topic. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and read you a new poem that I wrote recently. It's still the first draft. If you follow me on social media, I have been posting my first draft of poems that I started writing. Getting back into the writing game, it's a little bit hard, but I had to kind of think back to my past, my childhood. So this first poem is called I Hate Going to Church. I hate going to church. I was forced most times, wearing a dress that made me feel uncomfortable. Shoes that looked funny to me. Hairdos that looked funny on me. The overpowering smell of expensive perfumes mixed with cheap coffee aroma. Adults I don't remember meeting, but I'm told to put a smile on me because that's the nice thing to do. Foam cup filled with donut holes to keep me company. Reading Bibles that supposedly had all the answers. Told the truth. Scriptures I'm supposed to relate to. Mom told me I should believe. Pray. And all my problems would go away. I was too young to understand what was the truth or lie, or even if it was right, or it could be wrong. But it felt wrong when I experienced my first death by an ungodly disease, very unknown. So tell me, what page in the Bible am I supposed to land on? How can a man or woman do right and God decide to make them an angel? Did he ask me for my blessings? Anger by thought of prayer being the answer. Anger by the thought of the situation. Anger by whatever. So you guys, that's just the first draft. You can kind of already tell what it's all about. I don't really have to go into details. It's straightforward in the poem. But, the final draft may not be like this. Maybe more metaphors. But tell me what you think about it in the comments below. Or even DM me about it. Text me, I'm always down for the cause. So today's episode, it's still September. It's also National Month of Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month. And kind of want to talk about like a recent story of mine, but it's not recent. It happens quite often. So you guys, if you guys know me, I love to go out and drink. Since the pandemic and stuff going on, I kind of had to put a pause on that. Bars aren't open, but some days I overdrink too much, And then if you guys follow me on Twitter, which you shouldn't, but you could, it's Becky the Poet. But you would see like those sad posts, right? And I've had people reach out to me before. And honestly, I woke up and I thought about it. You think about what happens when you're drinking, right? But then you always fall back into the whole dark thoughts, I call them, as in like suicide, hurting myself, not wanting to be here, talking down on myself. But it's crazy because the next morning, I don't remember even writing that. But I know deep down inside there's always something wrong because, a few days later, I start to feel some type of way. Lots of regrets, lots of poor decision making, lots of excessive bad habits. Either it's spending too much, drinking too much, not enough sleeping, or hurting myself in ways where you want to think it's hurting yourself, but it is. So I started to avoid things like I hate the topics about suicide. I had a hard time watching 13 Reasons Why because it didn't necessarily trigger things, but it made me uncomfortable just hearing the thought of it. I was listening to the Try Guys book, audiobook, and I had an episode. Got to the last part of the book where one of them talks about how he was diagnosed with clinically depression and how he wanted to kill himself, how he didn't want to be here anymore, and I've once told a family member before, and they end up telling another family member, and that family member was worried, but there was never any action, right? And I had to realize that within myself, that why do I keep thinking about leaving this world, or why do I keep thinking about hurting myself, and why do I even sometimes wake up and I do hurt myself because don't remember what happened, etc. And sometimes it makes me wonder, is there like an internal problem? And there always is, right? I don't go to therapy anymore, but you start to kind of like pick your own brain. And what I've learned over just doing that for so many times and years and months is that one thing is, when I don't rest enough, I become depressed, become sad. And that's one thing I've learned, is that resting is such a big ordeal. Especially during this pandemic, I learned that the hard way, where resting was a must. Like I took that time to rest. I forced myself to sleep. I forced myself to spend more time to just take care of myself. And I noticed a big difference. And secondly, I had to distance myself away from people. You don't know how it affects you, but when you watch other people move, it starts to affect yourself, which causes you to be depressed, which causes you to lessen your own value, which causes you to speak rough on yourself, as in you talk down on yourself. You say you're not good enough because you see them doing this, you see other people doing that, and it just pushes you down this path of like, I'm never gonna be as good as they are. They got somebody to retweet them. Oh, they're working with somebody. I will never be as good as them. But then I had to backtrack, stay off of social media, and realize that I am on my own path. I'm in my own lane, That's kind of what happens sometimes when we do research. You listen to other people's podcasts, you watch other people's YouTube videos because you want to be just like them. You want to see how they came up, right? But it can put you into this deteriorating mindset of, I'm not like them, I'm never going to be like them, right? But you got to understand there's work that comes with it, and that you're in a different lane. So you just have to accept the fact that you guys aren't on the same path. And that's number 2. And then the last thing I learned is, drinking is not the answer. I've gotten to a better habit of working out more. I even got myself a trainer. I even commit to 3 times a week if possible, Also, because of working out, I drink less. I sleep earlier, which ties everything together. I also eat a little bit better, besides the fact with the hot Cheetos and pickles, but that's never going to stop, And I just want to let you guys know that it's okay to not be okay. You hear that quite a bit, right? But it takes some time to be okay. You're not just going to wake up and be like, I'm well rested, I'm okay. Like, even if you get 8 hours of sleep, it's not going to change anything, September ain't over yet, and suicidal awareness should not just be because it's in the month of September. I think it should be a year-round thing, especially during these times when it gets close to the holidays, year-round, because there's always something that triggers us, right? I know I go through roller coasters, I always call it. You have your highs in life, you have your lows, and when we get real low down here. So I just want you guys to know that you're not alone. I'm about to be 27 this year, and I still think about leaving this world. As much as I accomplished everything that I've done, but it's rough conversations you got to have with yourself and with your loved ones, that like, hey, like, I'm not okay right now, but I just need your company or something, and I'll get there eventually. Just give me time. And then if that doesn't work, you always know there's lots of professional help out there. So look into all of that. I hope you guys are doing great. Reach out to me. I'm doing awesome. I know my tweets sometimes are just scary. I appreciate everybody who reached out. I think the alcohol will be calmed down just a little bit more, and a lot of it has to do with like my internal self. But I will say, you guys, like King Kira would say, keep your head up and your bread up. And we out. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my YouTube at Becky the Poet, and then follow me on Instagram, Becky the Poet, and the podcast, Unspoken Words Podcast. All right, you guys, love y'all. Was that it? Was that all it?